So I'm starting out with a light layer of foundation. So I'm sort of repeating what I did earlier that I will talk through. So I'm using a foundation on him that basically just matches his skin, and I'm going to put a light layer all over, and this will serve as the foundation for blending other colors over it. Do you ever use primers? No, not usually. This makeup is pretty heavy duty, and if you start with a clean face, you can maybe prime in terms of maybe adding moisture to the skin if you're really, really dry, because then the makeup will apply to the skin easier. For durability, you can follow up with a setting spray to help keep it in place if you need that extra sort of durability. Okay, so okay. I don't want to cover up the darkness under the eyes, so I'm going to leave. I'm not going to do a heavy makeup under the eye to try and neutralize that. I'm just going to leave that. So I just did a light layer of foundation, okay? And I'm going to go in and help bring out his bone structure a little more using a highlight. And the highlights, as we go into deeper skin tones, we need the highlights to have yellow in them rather than a lot of white, because then you'll start to look ashy if it's too light of a color. So we go in with some yellow, but whatever highlight is appropriate for your skin tone, you do this step with that. And I'm just sort of working it in on the jaw. I'm sorry. I should tell you when I'm about to beat your face. Turn your face towards me, please.
Focusing on the bones, right?
On the what?
You're focusing on the bones structure?
Yes. I'm just bringing out the high points of the bone structure with the highlights. So this is a lighter color. Okay. Let's see. I took a step. You could stay there. Or you can actually get step back if you want. That's annoying. There. Look, open your eyes and look at the camera.
Flash. Are
we getting like funny lighting?
Yep.
Just as it is.
Oh yeah, I can see better now.
I went a little crazy with the powder there on your forehead. Okay. And I'm going to go in with the powdered contour. To bring out some of this facial structure. So definitely if someone had like a baby face, a very rounded face, making them a little more angular, reducing some of the apparent roundness would bring about a bit of age. Turn towards me. So Bruce has great bone structure already, so it makes a very easy roadmap to follow here and bringing this out. If I'm trying to make him look just a few years older, I'm not going to do anything super obvious like jowls. I think I might darken up the nasolabial folds just ever so slightly. I'm going to leave the under eyes a little bit dark. And smile for me. Okay, and then relax. I'm trying to find where these naturally fall, because you want the nasolabial folds to be filled in where they naturally go, so that when the actor smiles, it doesn't look weird or artificial. It just enhances what's there. Okay, so that's quite subtle. And then if you can always make it darker. Smiling. Do that for a second. Okay, look. Bring that shadow up. How many minutes have we got?
8.
Oh. Trying to work as fast as possible. And darken up the philtrum just a little bit. This 5 o'clock shadow here is good, just as a natural thing. I'm going to just highlight along that nasolabial fold just a little bit to bring it out. I'm a little concerned that this is going to already look a little too obvious. It looks obvious up close, but hopefully from stage it'll be okay.
Because they are like 15 feet away from you.
Yeah, it's a smaller theater, but there is some distance that they have to overcome. So I'm just shading the nose a little bit to bring that out. Okay. What happens as we age is, and maybe not so much at 25, but these areas here outside the eye start to get just a little bit darker. And then these lines might start forming a bit, and then like outside here, the outside of the mouth might get a bit dark. So we're not developing lines here yet, but just like a little bit of a darkness. And then maybe even around the nose might get a little darker. There might be like a little bit of a redness starting here. So let's see. What else?
The marble on top.
No. Not gonna give you any facials. I think you look a little. Let me see in the mirror now. Further away. I think you look a tad bit, just a tad bit older.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We can also just add a tiny bit of a shadow, and this works better with a pressed powder instead of using a cream. Just
that looks good in the video.
A tiny
Look
bit
at
of a
that.
shadow.
See, like it wasn't there before.
Okay. Okay. So I think for purposes of Scarlet Pimpernel, what we're trying to do, this would be